Gerbeegly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Gerbeegly with another episode of Gaming with Gerbeegly, and I'm once again playing another random one-shot from over here on lag.com. This is a game called Chess Move, and even though you probably think, based on this image, that we're going to be playing chess, it's actually a very different game. It's a puzzle game where you use chess pieces and they can only move like chess pieces, but it's actually all on like a 2D board, like a 2D sort of like puzzle platforming level. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I mean in a second here, but it looks like it's really fun and very complicated. We got 24 levels going in, and you'll see here, this is not your typical chessboard, even though that intro screen looked like one. This is a grid, just like a chessboard. There's us, we are the main king, but then we have an enemy king on the right side of the board. But you'll see here, I should probably move diagonally to start moving towards my opponent. What's that? If I go up in the air a little bit, I actually fall down due to gravity. It's all on a 2D horizontal only plane, so we have to use our ability as a chess piece to navigate the terrain, to get to the enemy. And then, fortunately, he can't attack me because I would have just moved within his attack range as well. We just go boom, and we killed the enemy king. And that's all I really know about the game, so I'm assuming this game is going to get more complicated as we continue to play it. We'll see where the roadblocks are for me, but I'm going to try to get through as many levels as I can. This time I start off with a rook, which is a very unfair matchup for this enemy king. Now, I don't know here if I... Okay, yeah, so gravity pulls me down, I drop on top of the enemy king and squish him dead, and we win the game. So here, it's very interesting. We have a bishop who can only move diagonally, so we can keep moving over and over and over until we get lined up with this platform here, move down through those little boxes that are available, and then I believe I have to move here, yeah, and then I'm lined up with the enemy king. It's all about playing the angles, all about knowing how far the piece is going to fall, what you can do with it, etc. Now, this one looks really hard because there's a gap here in the middle of the level, and the enemy king is sort of like hidden. I'm assuming we have to find a way to get the rook across the gap, but also over the lip of one of the boxes. Now, I don't really know how to do that because, unfortunately, the king only moves one space, and I think if I try to go to that gap, yeah, you fall down and then you're trapped in there and you can't get out. Okay, so that's not what we do. If we move this guy first, there's nothing that we can really do with him. Oh, I see what we got to do. Okay, so I think that these pieces can probably stack on top of each other. I can probably jump on top of the head of my own king without killing him, which is good. That's very, very good. And that gives me sort of like a booster seat. Gives me a little boost to get over the lip here. And then we fall down, lined up with the enemy king, knock him dead. Very, very good. Okay, cool. So there's like stacking mechanics. And again, gravity plays like one of the biggest allies and obstacles as well in this game, which is really, really fun. I like that a lot about it. So this one, I think a similar situation where we have to probably stack these bishops. So I can probably move that there. Yeah, okay. And then I think we have to bring the king over there because that... Where the enemy king is, I think it's going to be hard for a bishop to actually go that way. So I think we have to do this. Allow a step stool. I'm figuring this out pretty quickly, I gotta say. You guys have seen me play a lot of puzzle games where it's taking me a long time. But this one, I think because I just like grew up playing a lot of chess, I'm figuring it out a little bit sooner. Now, a knight, this is probably the most interesting piece to move in the game, in my opinion, because a knight moves only in like an L or upside down L or sideways L sort of direction. So here we have to jump back up onto the platform, and then we can kill the king just like that. All right, this one looks complicated. Okay, so we got our two knights. Can probably move them both this way. Get out of each other's way. Oh, wait, we can pass right through an obstacle with each knight. Okay, that's handy. That's really handy. Okay, so we can use it. Oh, we can't get over to the top platforms up there. But maybe what we can do is drop this guy on top of his head. And then he's got sort of a boost up. Nope, that doesn't really work. We're going to restart. We're going to see what happens. So they can stack on top of each other just like that. I'm assuming we need to get that to that, like, level 2 layer of blocks there up above here. to get up to the king, because it looks like there's like a staircase leading up to the enemy king. Not really sure where to go. Oh, we can take this one and put it in this little like donut shape, this little hole here. I don't know what that does for us. Is that... Oh, I see. Okay. I think we can drop this little horsey on top of the other one. Yeah, and now we got to stage 2 blocks. All right, and then if we move this guy, I see what to do. Move this guy all the way over and use him as a little booster to get all the way up that staircase just like that. That wasn't too hard. It just took a little bit of order of operations like most of these have done. Okay, this one looks weird. There's little like half platforms, but because we can't like jump in midair, like once we're in the air, we can't move anymore. Gravity has complete control of our lives. How do we get anywhere? Are these, can we, oh, yeah, okay, so the path shows I can pass through the partial, like the half blocks? That's really cool. Okay, do we fall through them? No, we do not. So you stand on top of them once you, even if you like jump from way high up onto them. All right, there we go. Boom, easy, nice. All right, figuring it out. Getting some of these slightly more complicated mechanics under my belt here, which isn't too bad. I think that in this one, all right, we probably have to free this rook somehow. And he can't get out on his own. So we're going to have to put a piece up there to boost him, I'm guessing. And then I think we have to probably get 2 pieces here in this middle column where I've put the king. Oh, wait, no, and then they won't reach it. I think what we have to do is probably get the rook underneath the enemy king, and then he can go straight up and kill the enemy. So let's work on freeing the bishop first. Get him up there, maybe? Oh, wait, no. Put the bishop down there first, and the king can just platform his way up, which is very good. And then the bishop, because the bishop can move infinitely in a certain direction, just do this, free the rook here, and then move the king there so the rook can get by first, because the king can jump back up if he needs to. And then I think the king does need to go first here to be a platform so the rook doesn't get stuck down there. Drop the rook there and just go boom straight up to kill the enemy king. We're doing pretty well here. We're definitely figuring this out. Oh my god, this one looks insane. This one actually looks a little bit crazy. So this one, I'm assuming we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and if we stack them all on top of each other, then what we should be able to do, theoretically, what we should be able to do is get this rook up at the top to drop on top of the stack and then go straight over and kill the enemy king. But to do that, we're going to have to do some fancy work. This is going to take a little bit, I feel like. All right, so I think we got to move the king onto the rook first, because the rook can move infinitely horizontally or vertically, but it can't move diagonally. So it's not really any good for stacking on top of other pieces. It actually physically can't. But the horses here, the knights, can sort of do this. Maybe use one of the bishops as a booster. And then because the bishops move infinitely diagonally, I believe, yeah, okay, we should be able to get him like that. Oh, crud, okay. Let's move that guy there first and then move this guy over. Boom, just like that, a big old stack for the rook to stand on top of, and then boom, straight to the right to kill the enemy. Now these are pawns. Pawns can only move, oh, just like, they can only move up. It's like they're moving up a chessboard. Okay. All right, pawns can only move up, and on top of it, they can move twice on their first move only, just like in regular chess. So that's very, very interesting to figure out here. So this pawn needs to go there to be a booster for our king, who is going to make his way over all the way to the right to kill the enemy king. This is very, very interesting. It would be really cool if it had given me a queen piece, because the queen can move omnidirectional essentially and move infinitely any number of spaces, right, left, up, down, diagonally, whatever. That would have been fun to mess around with, but for the most part, we got the basics down. We figured out how most of these pieces move, how to get to that enemy every single time. This game is super fun. This game is really, really fun. I think I made it through a decent number of levels here. Made it through half the levels. 12 levels remain, though, for you guys to tackle yourselves. But that's all the time that I have for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me bend my brain to solve some of these puzzles. If you did, please, please, please check this game out over here on lag.com. And as always, it was great seeing ya. Bye-bye.